This afternoon, as iPhone users around the world were in mid-panic over the security of their devices, especially the security of their photographs, Apple issued this statement. After more than 40 hours of investigation, we have discovered that certain celebrity accounts were compromised by a very targeted attack on usernames, passwords, and security questions, a practice that has become all too common on the Internet. None of the cases we have investigated has resulted from any breach in any of Apple's systems, including iCloud or Find My iPhone. We are continuing to work with law enforcement to help identify the criminals involved. Joining me now is someone who might have spoken with one of the people involved. Tech editor for BuzzFeed, Charlie Warzel. So, Charlie, who did you talk to who may be the subject of this investigation?
Yesterday morning, I spoke with Brian Hamad, who's a 27-year-old who lives in Georgia, and he was a person that the Internet around early Monday morning, late Sunday night, after these leaks started looking towards. He told me that he claimed he had never been in possession of the photos, but some people on some online message boards in places like Reddit sort of backtraced and saw his computer address inside one of the screenshots of some of the leaked photos. And so it's like all these things, it's very unclear, but right now he seems to be sort of the Internet sleuth's prime suspect.
And here's the statement that he gave. He said, "I am just an idiot," which is something we can all agree on, whether he's guilty or not guilty in this case. "I am just an idiot who tried to pull one over on 4chan and lost big time and stupidly left this identifying information. They took my proof and backtraced it. It isn't remotely true. I am not a hacker. I have no idea how the hell someone could hack into all of those accounts." And Charlie, what should people be fearing about the security of their devices as a result of this story?
Well, this isn't the first time, obviously, that this has happened to celebrities, but also with Apple and with iCloud. And while Apple, put out that statement and pretty much denied that it was a large, wide breach, this has happened before. A Wired reporter, it happened to him in 2012. And the real issue here is that with iCloud, there are still ways for hackers to sort of get in with brute force, which means using multiple guesses. And until yesterday morning, Apple actually had a security flaw that wouldn't allow you. That would allow you to enter as many passwords as possible. It doesn't time out like it would if you're trying to enter a password, to get into your computer, per se. So there's some issues with the extent of the security on this device that has all your information.
Now, it's pretty much settled now that everyone under 40 has kind of sensitive photographs of themselves or on their devices. And so can we just, as a culture, just completely remove the embarrassment for this and just treat them like baby pictures or high school graduation pictures and just recognize that, yeah, sure, these are everywhere, and it's nothing for anybody to be worried about?
You certainly can, but,
or
celebrities.
Charlie, it feels like we're about 100 years away from that particular level of enlightenment.
I think we are, and also, the sort of the wow factor and of celebrities, that's going to be an issue, and I don't think we're evolved enough on that front quite yet. Although it does seem to be something that we're getting better with as a culture. I mean, these photographs have been taken down. They're not easy for an average person to find now, a lot of these celebrity photographs. So as a culture, the media's done a decent job, delinking and sort of learning from spreading these things. Well,
what has happened over the weekend with the particular photographs that everybody's been buzzing about? Is it now, has the Internet kind of defended against the dissemination of these things?
Well, it depends what community. So you have you have some communities on some of these message boards like Reddit and 4chan who, celebrate these sort of leaks, and this is something that they're actively going after more. They're really excited about this, but a lot of news sites, Jennifer Lawrence's publicist came out very strongly, and I think a lot of people really sort of understood this is something that could happen to a normal person. It's happened to normal people before. We're starting, to see that their private lives are, just like ours. And I think that the media has done a good job this round of sort of, getting rid of the links to some of these seedier places and sort of making sure that these photos, don't necessarily show up without having to do a lot of digging on some of the, less savory places of the internet.
So Charlie, you're the tech advisor to some celebrities. Would you say just don't use the iCloud as step one?
I don't necessarily think it's that. I think it's that you have to, you just have to be very present and know what you have. You have to take. Really, this goes back to having really good usernames and passwords. That's like the very simple thing, and also making sure that you don't put other public information. If your backup security question is, the school, your first high school, then you shouldn't enter that information on Facebook and have it easily available to everyone, because then I can call up Apple and I can say, I'm you, and this is where I went to high school, and they will give me access to your account. That is a way that some of these people are, it's called social engineering. It's the way that they're kind of cracking into this. So you have to be very mindful, and I don't think it means don't use the technology, but I think it means this stuff has very real world consequences, and there are people out there, so you gotta really work hard at it.
Well, I went to 3 high schools, so I'm feeling kind of safer now.
Yeah.
Let's just say I struggled at the first 2. Charlie Warzel of BuzzFeed, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Coming up.